All right, today we're going to start talking about the area of all these polygons. Today we're just going to do rectangle, triangle, and then we'll get into parallelogram today as well. All right, so area, first of all, is the amount of space that an object takes up. You guys have done this before. I put a coordinate plane here. We can see that this side is 4, this side is 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. So you guys should know area of a rectangle is the base times the height. All right, so we have the base in this case is going to be 6, and so area is 6 times 4, which is 24. Now, you got to make sure you understand what that actually means. What that means is 24, and we can say it's 24 square feet. So feet squared, or just 24 inches squared, whatever our scale is. But what that means is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 different squares that will fit inside there. And each of those squares is 1 foot by 1 foot, or a square foot. All right, think about tiles inside of a room. All right, so the next one is a triangle. Now, we talked about the rectangle as being 2 different triangles put together. All right, so in a triangle, the area is the base times the height, and then we're just going to cut it in half because it's half of that of a rectangle. Some people like this, the base times height divided by 2, but I think that causes a lot of issues when we actually know the area, and we'll talk about that coming up. All right, so let's talk about triangles. Triangles, some issues come up in geometry. We need to make sure it is, again, area is 1/2 the base times the height. The h is the perpendicular height. You need to make sure you understand this. It is the distance perpendicular from, like, this is 90 degrees. This is my base, and perpendicular would be straight up. So this would be my height, this would be my base. But h is always perpendicular. So if I'm going to use this as my base, my height is from this vertex straight down. This is my height, it's 90 degrees. My base is the whole entire thing. And the hardest one for a lot of people to see is this obtuse triangle to the right. If this is my base, my height is not actually inside the triangle. We need to extend it out, and then my height is here. Again, it's the distance perpendicular from the base, which is this line here, at 90 degrees, and the height is all the way up there. So you're looking for that 90-degree angle when you have the height. All right, you guys should be good at triangles. The hard one is a parallelogram. So I've drawn up here, a rectangle. All right, and if you notice, in this case, I'm going to drag these on top of each other. They're pretty much, they have the same width, and they have the same height. For a parallelogram and a rectangle, these are the same. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop up the parallelogram. So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut off this little corner here. Okay, we're just going to cut him off. So I'm left with that section, and I'm left with the green section and the blue section. Now this isn't going to be perfect because I'm drawing, but basically I have, there's my original, and I have these 2 shapes that make up my parallelogram. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag them over to this rectangle. All right, and then I'm going to drag this piece, but instead of putting it here, it's going to fill in the space here. So area of a parallelogram is the same as a rectangle. This is for area of a parallelogram. Same as a rectangle. You can kind of just chop off that corner and move him over. All right, so just the same. A lot of them are the same. Oh, actually, let me go. Here, we're looking for the base. In this case, the base is going to be here. And the height can be in a couple of different places. So I want to show you this. The height a lot of times is going to be here. You'll see it here. But there are other cases like that obtuse triangle where they put the height on the outside of the parallelogram, right? And then again, we just multiply them. It's the same as a rectangle. Area equals base times height. When you get to composite drawings, all right, they're going to just put a couple of different shapes in here. So we'll just talk about this one in general. In this shape, we have a rectangle and we have a triangle. All right, so all we do is we find the area of the rectangle, we find the area of the triangle, and then we should be fine. We'll do some problems like that coming up. And this one is a little bit more complicated. If I want to find the area of just the shaded region, okay, so I'm going to find the area of the rectangle, and we are going to subtract the area of the triangle. Okay, that's how we're going to find it, because we're taking the whole area and we're subtracting this little part in here, the green part. So the way to find this is I'm going to find the area of my rectangle. So area of a rectangle is its base times its height. All right, so we have 21 times 34, which will give me area is 714. All right, so that is not necessarily the answer. That's the area of the rectangle. The area of the triangle, I'm going to draw a new one. Separate it. I always tell you guys that. This is 16. That's a right angle. And because of my triangle, we know that this is not 35, 34. So this is 34. So we are going to find the area. Now I have the hypotenuse. That's not my base. This is my base here. So in order to find the base, I'm going to do 16 squared plus b squared equals 34 squared. All right, so we're going to square those. 256 plus b squared equals 1156. And then we get b squared equals 900. Take the square root. So b is 30. All right, so we are finding that the base in this case is equal to 30. So the area of my triangle, is 1/2 my base, which is 16, times 30. All right, so we take 1/2 times 16 times 30, it will give us 240. So the area of my triangle equals 240. And then we're going to just subtract it from 714. So the area of my shaded region is 714 minus 240, which is also equal to 474. We're going to go inches squared on this. All right, so they get a little more complicated. I'm just going to show you a few. All right, here you got to sometimes draw the line. So we draw the line. I then have area of my triangle plus the area of a rectangle. We have the triangle here. The rectangle is here. And you have to find all of those lengths. All right, sometimes they give us the area first. So we still set up area equals my base times my height. Area is 104 equals my base is 16, and then my height is x. So you just do this, just solve the equation for x. So we have 104 divided by 16. So x is 6.5. Right? Just gotta be able to work through it. Right? Same thing on coordinate plane. You just figure out the length here, 3. Figure out the height is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. So my area is my base times my height. My area, 3 times 4, which is 12. I think that's it. All right, the next one we're going to do is trapezoids, but not in this video.